I was one of those girls who dreamed about her marriage and planned it from a very young age. I started writing letters to my future husband when I was 9. This is a ridiculous practice that many young women Bible studies endorse. Let's be honest, no guy wants to read letters from his wife from back when she still thought Barbies were awesome. Anyways, I came from a conservative Christian homeschooling background and was indirectly taught that marriage was the epitome of joy. I learned that saving sex for marriage is a surefire way to preserve the sanctity of marriage. My dad had an affair when I was 11, and my perspective on this changed. My parents went through unbelievable amounts of therapy to save their marriage, and then changed their tune so their children would be better prepared. The new mantra regarding marriage went something like this: marriage is hard, but brings joy. Then, at the ripe old age of 16, I met George, my now husband. He was exactly the medicine I needed to believe in marriage again. He was constant, loyal, and willing to date me long distance for 3 years, which is an eternity when you're in high school, okay? He was willing to support my illogical belief that if I saved sex for within my marriage, my husband would do the same down the road and not cheat on me like my dad cheated on my mom. I fell for George. Hard. I truly believed that my marriage with him would be different than my parents' marriage. It would require work, surely, but we were just so happy together. Marriage couldn't possibly be as hard as I had come to believe it would be. I was certain I would always just be so crazy in love with George. We got engaged at 19. As I started to believe that my marriage would be happy and fun, this perception was reinforced by my social media. My friends, who had also saved sex for marriage and had also found godly, loyal spouses, were constantly posting about how great their marriages were. I was bombarded with cutesy statuses about wonderful men who buy their wives flowers and unclogged the drains with a smile. My Instagram was peppered with lovebird posters and coordinating romantic pillowcases. It all just looked so fun. I couldn't wait to make a little home for George and I, to wake up cuddled in his arms, to pack him lunches and include a romantic note. Marriage became a fantasy for me. I was certain I would greet my husband at the end of the day with a hot dinner and even hotter lingerie. And how could I not be certain of this? All my friends were experiencing this fantasy, and it was going great for them. I was convinced we all had found the secret recipe. Save sex, marry young, go to church. If you did these things, your marriage would be blissful and Pinterest worthy. My marriage is not at all like this. The real messy bits of life are mixed right in with the good. My husband does bring me flowers, but usually only when I remind him that it would make me happy if he did so. After waking up in the morning, George and I do snuggle, but we don't kiss because, let's be honest, we have terrible breath in the morning. Just the other day, he rolled over and put his arm around me in bed, and I thought, how sweet. We lay there for a little while, and then he said, "Did you know you fart in your sleep?" These are the realities you never see on Facebook. Joining your life together with someone else's is just messier and more complicated than you might expect. There was a lot of baggage from our past that we had to work through, and many of our first evenings together ended with angry tears. Plus, I felt that I wasn't holding up my end of the blissful newlywed lifestyle. I've never packed him lunch, and I'm too busy with homework to have sex every evening. Our life is so much more mundane. To be honest, our marriage primarily consists of Facebooking on the couch next to each other at the end of the day. George sets an alarm on his phone to remind himself to ask me out on dates, and I settle for simplistic, repetitive meals that I can handle along with my homework load. We set up a sex schedule. I buy home decor, and it sits on the floor for weeks before I finally hang it. Together, George and I worked through some of our unhealthy tendencies, and then we discovered new ones we didn't know we had. We muscled our way from idealistic to realistic. And I learned there is no secret recipe. No matter how you slice it, marriage takes work. My lifestyle is not automatically more conducive to a happy marriage than anyone else's. But at the end of the day, I am happy.
This is the first day of my life. Swear I was born right in